Mr. K knew me well enough to know that I was going to sing something political. He was pleasantly surprised when I presented him with a song from 1950. Ed McCurdy wrote, "Last night I had the strangest dream in 1950. It has been covered many times since, and I heard it from the Chad Mitchell Trio. It's amazing such a song could be so timeless, but I got up there in front of everyone, and I sang these words of peace. I sang those words in front of all my friends, their parents, and half of Morris, with my foot rapidly quivering the entire time. I proclaimed to those gathered there that we should indeed put an end to these wars. Enough was enough. 7 years later, Iraq no longer has a major American military presence, and we're hopefully leaving Afghanistan this summer. Christ didn't say, turn the other cheek, because he wanted us to be weak-willed. A classmate of mine explained that in those days, for a person to slap another once in public was an outrage. But for a person to slap another a second time on the other cheek meant that the slapper was the one disgraced. They went over the line. Christ wasn't telling us to not fight back, but that the slap shouldn't happen at all. To slap another twice was more disgraceful for the slapper than for the abused. Pray for those who persecute you isn't a commandment of defense or to make yourself feel better. It's a commandment of ending violence. If we truly followed the eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, we'd all be blind and in need of dental surgery. If we only turned the other cheek and prayed for those who persecuted us, we'd still have those two bruised arms. This text is not about the perpetuation of violence, but a call to end the violence. In a country where many are killed due to gun violence, where many are abused by their partners, where kids are picked on at school. We need to implement a change. Christ commands us to find a better way. Remember that February is Black History Month. Remember the sacrifices of Martin Luther King Jr. and all civil rights movement people and others made to end violence in this country. There are better ways of resolving conflict. Christ told us this 2,000 years ago, and think of all the wars that have been waged in his name. Find a better way, folks. Don't just turn the other cheek, but pray for those who persecute you to stop the persecution, to find a better way. Amen.